my life, and then one about my thoughts on leadership. So first, I have a bit of a quote here, and this is really about growth. What you're doing right now and what you were doing yesterday will be nothing like what you're doing tomorrow. And as best as you think you can control your life and everything in it, it doesn't happen. You can be laser focused on a goal, and then suddenly things happen. I call them little shiny things happen in life. Could be pertaining to yourself, people you know, family, friends, and it totally turns your world upside down. So I encourage you all, first of all, to be open to opportunities and growth, and what you think you didn't like today, you may love tomorrow, or vice versa. So learn as you go, and I love this class and the environment you're getting right now to really help give you insight and ideas to what the future holds for you. Question. How many of you know where you'll be in 10 years? Raise your hand. Oh, we got one. All right, two. All right. Well, I will tell you, in this day and age, 10 years is a long time, and so much is happening daily that what you think you'll be doing in 10 years, you probably, in most cases, will not be. And I'll talk to you a little bit about my background here. When I first was growing up, forever and forever, I wanted to be a lawyer. So I'm pre-law, went to undergrad, pre-law. My brother was pre-med, so we were groomed and that was it. There was no debate, no discussion, no straying from the goal of our parents. What I found was that when I went to undergrad, I didn't like history, I didn't like English, I didn't like words, I didn't like anything to do with law. But I loved math. I said, well, I guess pre-law is not it. And I changed over to accounting for my major. In accounting, I learned in cost accounting and GAAP, there's no numbers in those, it's all words, more words. Where's the numbers? I then quickly shifted to marketing because I could still transfer all my credits and still get out in 4 years. That was the goal, get out in 4 years. At that point, I'm like lost. I say, well, maybe law school's still in the cards. I took the LSAT, bombed. So now law school was totally wiped off the table. And that was my lifelong dream. What I did when I first graduated undergrad, I went to work for a company as a marketing representative. It turned out it was sales of insurance. That didn't prove me beneficial for my pockets or anything else for 2 years, and I had to get out of that. I had worked in retail in undergrad, college, high school. I'm a bit of a fashionista, and I loved retail. So I said, let me go back into retail. It's something I know. I can make a living. And I started working in retail and management sector for different retail stores. I did still want to get my MBA. But retail environments, and you've been to a mall, they don't have the hours conducive to someone leaving to do anything outside of the job. Either you're working weekends, nights, I can't get to class. I said, well, I now then have to give up retail because I really want to get my MBA. I went to work in a bank. 9 to 5, it was great, get out, go to class. I was moving along pretty quickly with my MBA. And the banking industry really wanted me to move up the ranks in banking. But I'm like, I don't know, this banking is not for me. There's got to be something else for me to use my finance skills and at the same time learn and grow my career. I ended up finding a job as an analyst for an insurance company. The ad said marketing, but not necessarily selling, numbers, helping people analyze numbers and information. I said, all right, I can do that. Not a lawyer, not in banking, not in retail, but insurance. And insurance is the least sexiest industry out there. You say, I work for insurance, they say, oh, nice to meet you. And they walk away. They don't want to talk to you because people think of insurance, they think of claims, bad experiences, bad hospital stays. But really, it's a lot of great people in insurance, and every single facet of the business exists in insurance. You've got HR, you've got marketing, you've got product, you've got sales, you've got actuary. And even now where I'm working for Highmark, we now have doctors, clinicians, healthcare professionals, business people. Everything you need and want and have background in can be served in an insurance company. And that's what I did. Now, when you work in finance, how many of you are finance majors? All right. What you will find when you talk to people about finance and they're not in finance, their eyes get glazy and hazy and they want to fall asleep and run away. But what they do is very important to the profitability of the business. What I did was I built training around business acumen for non-financial people because what they do impacts the expenses and probably the revenue of a business. And if they don't get it, the company won't get it. And I did find people started to get it. They realized what they were doing, how it impacted the numbers, how to make change in what they're doing, and I really helped change behavior. And I found this passion for training and performance improvement. So I said, that's really where I found my niche between this finance background, but really helping people understand how what they do impacts the profitability of the business. So I decided to go and get a second master's in education because I wanted to create the credibility. I wanted to have some value. I'm not just a finance person anymore. Now I'm finance with talent development at the same time. And I found that beneficial because as I was maneuvering across different companies in a finance role, I was called upon to do training and talent development for others in finance and outside of finance. So that was great. I then, several years later, decided to get my PhD. I said, I've been thinking about it for a while. It'll add more credibility. I still got this finance stuff going on, but now, that doctor thing sounds really cool. There's a lot of work, but I said I'm gonna go for it. And I just finished that in 2018, and it's really served me very beneficial. I've still been involved in training and performance improvement at my current role. I have, since my dissertation, wrote a book. I'm writing articles. I get called to do sessions like this. It's been great for me to share my knowledge around how corporate structures work, but how to really leverage and create your niche in an organization. Because what you'll find, and to your question earlier, Ian, there's a lot of type A people out there with a lot of strong backgrounds, similarities, and agendas. So it's really about how do you fit in and have something different to bring to the table so that you keep getting invited back to the party. And as far as me in general, so I wanted to be a lawyer years ago. I have now since been in many different industries. I've lived in many states, worked for many companies, and I'm still not done. I don't know what's next. I'm not even thinking about 10 years from now. I'm thinking about next year, 3 years, 5 years, because every single day I'm learning something new, and I'm still seeing those little shiny objects. I'm like, ooh, that looks good. Oh, ooh, over here, this looks good. But I think I try to ground myself in what I found as my strengths, and how can I utilize that going forward to help people who need my skill set, may not have it where they are, or to really coach and mentor others. As far as my leadership,